Oklahoma executes inmate James Coddington 1 day after governor declines to commute sentence. Convicted Oklahoma murderer James Coddington was executed on Thursday morning, just 1 day after the governor declined to commute his sentence despite a recommendation from the state's Pardon and Parole Board that his life be spared. Coddington, 50, received a lethal injection at the Oklahoma State Penitentiary in McAlester and was pronounced dead at 10:16 a.m. Gov. Kevin Stitt declined to commute Coddington's sentence to life in prison without parole and rejected his petition for clemency. Coddington was the fifth Oklahoma inmate to be put to death since the state resumed executions last year. During a clemency hearing this month before the state's 5-member Pardon and Parole Board, an emotional Coddington apologized to Hale's family and said he was a different man today. "I'm clean, I know God, I'm not a vicious murderer," Coddington told the board. "If this ends today with my death sentence, okay." Coddington's attorney, Emma Rolls, told the panel at the time that Coddington was impaired by years of alcohol and drug abuse that began when he was an infant and his father put beer and whiskey into his baby bottles. Mitch Hale, Albert Hale's son, had urged the parole board not to recommend clemency, and said he felt a sense of relief with Stitt's decision. Coddington was twice sentenced to death for Hale's killing, the second time in 2008 after his initial sentence was overturned on appeal. After killing Hale, Coddington committed at least 6 armed robberies at gas stations and convenience stores across Oklahoma City. When the full circumstances of the murder, related robberies, and extensive history of violence on Mr. Coddington's part are considered, one thing is clear: death is the only just punishment for him, prosecutors in the state attorney general's office wrote to the Pardon and Parole Board. Coddington was convicted and sentenced to die for the beating death of his friend and co-worker, 73-year-old Albert Hale, inside Hale's Choctaw home. Prosecutors say Coddington, who was 24 at the time, became enraged when Hale refused to give him money to buy cocaine.